All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're live again, Friday morning live. I'm excited to have Craig and my friend Phil here again. We're gonna have some great conversations today. What I'd like to kick this off with is just an update on our coaching group. Our coaching group, called the 15-Minute Playbook, is open to any loan officer, producing branch manager in the industry that wants to get some advice, some tips, some coaching, some mentorship. And the reason we did this is because there seems to be a lack of sales leadership in the industry right now. And a lot of that's been forced or worsened in recent years because of margin compression, right? Middle management has been pushed out, or middle management is so focused on recruiting growth and administration of the business, which means where do I cut costs, right? They're just focused on other things, so that the coaching isn't really happening at a high level at a lot of companies. And if it is happening, it's a paid resource. So you see the coaching industry outside of companies is gaining a lot of traction. And we believe it's because of this thing that's happening with middle management at mortgage companies. So we want to fill the gap. And Craig and I were talking about this for months, is we want to provide some resources, some basic coaching and mentorship to help loan officers when they can't or won't spend the money on actual coaching. And it's been interesting to see this thing evolve very, very quickly. We took the format of coaching that we've been using internally, which is 4 calls a week, Monday through Thursday, 15 minutes each. And then on this workshop series we're doing right now, each call contains a business development idea. So it's one nugget that people can implement right away to start generating business. And the cool thing has been, we talk about a lot of things, but the cool thing has been for us, like, we invest a lot of time setting this up and working on the scripts and the outline. We've gotten some great feedback. So we're investing the time, and it's great to get that positive feedback back, because that makes it worthwhile. So we had, and there's a Facebook group that goes along with it too. So the Facebook group, we had over 100 members in that Facebook group in less than a week. So this coming Monday will be 2 weeks since we opened that group, and we're today at 145 members in the group, which is fun. It's growing quickly. By standards of Facebook groups, that's not huge, but given how long it's been open, just a very short period of time, I think it's fantastic. The other thing that happened is this workshop series, these webinars, these coaching calls. We had 90 people sign up in the course of just a couple of weeks. And the actual people that are coming, and you see a large number of people that come pretty much every call. And again, we've had 8 calls so far, Monday through Thursday, each week for 2 weeks. And we have a core group of people that just keeps coming back. So the group that shows up is usually in the mid 30s. We've got 35 to 40 people show up every week. So we're getting a lot of traction. People can still sign up. If you go to loactionplan.com, you can still register for the series. The Facebook group is Loan Officer 15-Minute Playbook. For anybody that wants to join it there, they can jump in, catch the recordings of the webinars. There's other resources and documents in there to help support people. So I'm having a ton of fun with it. Craig, I'm pretty sure you are having fun with it too. What do you think about
it? Well, to be honest with you, I love it because number one, we're adding value that's actually relevant.
Yeah.
And it's current. Secondly, I feel like based on the conversations that I've been having with a lot of the loan officers, they really appreciate it because they've never really had that one-on-one coaching. They've never really had that direction of where they need to go, which is business now mentality. Third, it's a community of loan officers working together to get better. And, that's been very impactful, not only for me, not only for you, but I think, other members in the group, because we're all sharing information. We're all trying to get better every single day. And I feel like, as we continue to grow this, more and more momentum is going to be created from it. And I feel like over time, it's just going to be one of the best groups out there because it's going to be relevant training right now, straight line to business, help you grow.
And it's
Phil,
no
what are your
fluff.
thoughts? And no fluff.
Did you say Phil? Did you say Phil?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, I like, again, it's quick, right? You know, it's not guys rambling on for a whole hour, you know, and it's every day, right? And so it's like you come in, you get a quick idea you can implement, you know, and I think that's one thing that's sometimes missing from coaching type groups or coaching type platforms. It's just getting that one thing you can do that will make a little bit of difference. And, you know, I'm sure everybody here on this call and a lot of loan officers across the country probably read the book Atomic Habits, or they've had a coach or a leader talk to them about the idea of getting 1% better every single day. And that's what this group really does, is that in that little 15 minutes, it gives you that little nugget. I think Troy or Craig, one of you two, hates that word, but
They hate that
gives
word.
you that little
Troy.
nugget
That's
that you
Troy.
can implement in to make you better, 1% better, you know, each and every day. And it's not just like an idea. You know, a lot of times coaching, they kind of talk in the peripheral. You know, it's all up here and it's thinking and it's idea and it's philosophy based. Whereas I think with this group is like, this is actual stuff you can go do and implement in your business that's just going to help you grow. And so like that's the big difference maker for me.
And I think something too I want to add is how the workshops and the Facebook group kind of play together, right? I mentioned we post the recordings, and then people go into the Facebook group based on what they heard in the webinars, and they'll comment questions, share their wins, and the quality of people has been very, very high. I mean, people are grateful, they're helping each other. That's what's exciting to me, is we're attracting a really high quality of people.
It's a community. Yeah, that's a big thing that, you know, we don't have all the answers. I don't, no. Craig, Brian, Troy, nobody has all the answers, but we all have good ideas. But what's cool about this group is that we have a lot of loan officers that are coming together, and some of them have really good ideas or good experiences and things that have worked for them. And so it's this nice community where everybody can kind of bounce ideas off each other and really help each other grow.
And the best part, we're going to continue to do this all year.
Yes.
We're going to hire, you know, some other coaches to come in. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to coach. And I really want this to be one of the best groups out there that, you know, where everybody gets something from it.
Yep.
Well, more importantly, when you think about the loan officer community and the mortgage industry in general right now, with things that it's been through in the past 2 years, you see it's one of those phases where so many people are trying to take advantage of folks and steer them towards coaching programs that are really just stuff that you have to sit and read through on your own and sort out and figure out how to apply it to what you're doing every day. And sometimes it is and is not in sync with where you're at in life. Or a lot of times originators working from home, trying to develop a business in and of itself can be challenging. But then during times like we're in right now, where you have high rates, you have a lot of different things impacting the market, it's hard to read through something, get your head in the right space, and then implement strategies of any kind, much less, you know, do so every day of the month. But you know, if you can get yourself into the habit of doing something each day or resetting your mindset each day, it will help you get somewhere, or at least help your mental state.
Because most loan officers at most companies, big companies, they might have a monthly meeting with their region, you know, and then they might have maybe a weekly meeting with their branch manager. And these meetings are, hey, here's the numbers, or here's what's going on. Let's go get it. Let's go get some more business. All right, let's get out there. Good job.
Well, that was helpful.
Yeah,
that was helpful.
Exactly. And you know, or maybe they might say, oh, well, we got rolling down the pike. We got this brand new awesome program that maybe 1% of the people you might talk to, it might be a good fit for. And that's it. And then you're kind of just left to just go get more business. Okay. And the difference is like, this is, hey, each day here's something you can think about. Here's a change you can make. Here's something you can implement. Here's something you can go after and call these people. Do this every single day. It's like a constant reminder just to continue to building your business, and it's positive and it's encouraging. And Troy, like you just talked about, we're in high rates. Like there's a lot of negativity. I posted something about this on LinkedIn the other day. I've been at companies and I've seen executives at other companies using this term, survive to 25. Boss, like what the hell are we going to do for all of 2024? Like just sit around and not do anything and not accomplish any of our goals and not help any people and not try to help and pour into our real estate agents. You know, I can't believe that, but that is like a mindset throughout the industry. And
So
like
bizarre.
that shit doesn't fly around here. So like we're saying we're going to get out there and we're going to grow this year. We're going to make money this year. We're going to help more people this year. We got people to take care of. People need what we do, and we're going to get out there and get it done. And every day it's a constant reminder, and it's just a mindset.
It's interesting how an entire space, and I'm going to compare this, it seems like the strangest thing to compare it to, but have you ever wondered why so I call it a spatial version of the law of attraction. Why an accent, like let's say a Southern draw, stays isolated to a certain part of the country, right? You think to yourself, why doesn't it either spread out or why doesn't it go away completely? And you realize that the people in that space, that spatial environment, are actually keeping it alive one generation after another. And when you take that and you apply it to people in an industry, like an industry such as mortgages, where we've had the inventory challenges, we've got higher rates than what folks have been used to for a long time, and a lot of different things going on. And folks are just trying to figure out how to continue forward. The whole idea of waiting it out, wait to survive, or anything like that, it creates like a spatial mindset of forgetting that the business is actually still happening. It's still happening. You don't have to have the same accent as everyone else. It's okay for you to talk different. You can understand the idea that the business is still going on. You just have to go out and take steps to find your way to it. And sometimes folks get so caught in the spatial mindset that they continue the accent and the verbiage of, this is in a place of deprivation. I have to survive till 25. No, you can do perfectly successful things in the space that you're in. You just have to keep your mindset there.
Well, and it's like that saying, you are the people you surround yourself with, right?
Yeah.
And like there was a controversy, this is probably several years ago, but like Hillary Clinton was like at an all black church or something in the South, and she started talking like all like slang, and she changed the way she talked and her phrasing and stuff like that. And mortgage loan officers in our industry, it's the same thing. If you're at a place or a company and you surround yourself with people that have that negative mindset, the survive to 25, or or rates are bad or whatever it is, that's gonna leak into you and your business. So like, why wouldn't you want to put yourself around people who have a positive mindset, understand that there's business to be had? Like, they're not finding reasons why they can't close business. They're out there finding ways to continue and push forward.
Right. And that's something where you can log on once a day at a specific time and just hear people talk from different parts of the country and ideas being put out there for some type of an action you can even take for just that given day. Sometimes can help your mindset enough that you start to realize the business is still happening, that you don't have to participate in the spatial idea that everything is in deprivation right now in our industry.
Well, and the beauty of it is it's a mindset shift. Like you can go from closing 0 loans to closing 8 loans just with the shift of the mindset.
Shift in thought.
And start applying the nuggets that we're teaching in our group on how to build a business.
Yeah.
And then it's
So that's
brilliant
actually
that we're doing that.
brilliant. So that's actually a question I want to throw out to Troy. I had that exact conversation with somebody from the group this morning about mindset, somebody that's been in the industry, and he might be listening now, so I won't say his name, but he's been in the industry for 20 years. He's on a complete reboot right now. So it
How
gone
exciting.
through some rough times, completely a reboot. So Troy, what would you say to that guy?
So everything in life moves in chapters anyway. People don't like to attach to that idea. They want to feel that you start out at the beginning, and the idea of a journey is something that we're taught from a very young age. It's just this continuous experience, and whatever happens to you is what's happening to you and meant to happen for you. And that's not necessarily the case. Life is actually chapters. So how exciting for that person that at this stage in their life, they can do a reset where they can restructure the sources of business. They can start doing business with new people, new types of business. They can expand the things that they're doing and completely reinvent themselves. It's actually, I mean, it should be something that excites folks instead of getting down about it. It's actually something to be happy about.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah.
It's a reset. It's just a new chapter.
Well, and you summed it up brilliantly. There's my word again, Craig. Brilliant.
Troy had some brilliant nuggets right there. So I mean,
brilliant. Let's see how many times we can say that word.
We need to get some. We're gonna get some MFG T-shirts.
No,
and it's MFG Nuggets.
No.
Hashtag Nuggets.
No.
Hashtag Nuggets.
No.
And we'll get like a Troy's face on it too. Oh, that's
yes.
Okay, that is brilliant right there.
Eating chicken nuggets.
We'd
Let
sell
me write
a lot
this
of
down.
those. Yes.
I'll go as far as
I'll
go as far as to allow there to be an acronym, and we'll just call them BNs, but that's it. I'm going to actually physically have the IT folks go into the computers and ban the word nugget.
So your computer shuts off every time you type the word nugget.
You know, and it's kind of
It says
interesting.
you're fired.
You know, people use words like that, and it's kind of interesting because what it in reality in the physical space, what it is it's a thought is really what it is. It's a very like a momentary electrical impulse in your mind that gives you the ability to have something to act on. And so it's a brilliant impulse. It's a BI. We'll call them those. It's an impulse. It's something that gives you the opportunity to change directions and lose the accent because you're in an area that has one. You can start a new chapter. You can revamp everything that you're doing, and you can do it all literally in the course of a day or over 30 days. Attending something like this, it's only 15 minutes a day. That gets you into a space where your mind shifts into an impulse each day that's geared towards positively thinking of the fact that the business is still happening. You just got to go find it.
Right.
You know, and to that point, Craig, it's funny. I was going to mention I had a few people reach out to me this morning at 8:35 and say, "Hey, why is nobody on the call? Why is nobody on the call?"
I did that last week.
Yeah,
I forgot we didn't have it on Friday.
I wasn't gonna call you out by name, but but maybe we do go to 5 days a week instead of 4.
I'll leave it up
tossing it out there.
Phil,
So an interesting. So if you step back and you think about that for a second, that means that there are people who are having those, again, instead of using word nugget, which is an external object, it's an internal impulse. And that means they are attaching to those internal impulses each day. That makes it addictive, right? And something like that is not addictive in a bad way, like the fact that I keep sipping on my coffee because I didn't sleep enough last night. Addictive, but addictive in a way that it's an impulse that continues to remind them that there's business, that there's people still generating closable, viable businesses out there and being successful every day. And again, you don't have to buy into the world is coming to an end mindset.
Right. Exactly.
And Phil brought up the word habit. Anything that you ever read talks about how many times you have to repeat something before it becomes habit. So the impulses that we're giving people each day with the calls can actually become habit forming.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
I love it. I love it.
Good point.
I love it. I love it. So, so speaking of the Facebook group, Craig, you had suggested we post the business planning template that we've been using internally, that we post that to the group so people can use it as a resource. And we're going to post that over the weekend. You know, a thought that I had, well, first of all, I'd love for you to kind of talk through that and how you've been using it to help some of our loan officers. It's a great template. But secondly, I think we should do a series or at least a few workshops on just that, on your business planning template.
You know, I think that a business plan is a roadmap for your success.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you don't know how to get from point A to point B, well, then what are we doing? Like a business plan is a compass, right? It gives you a nice outline of what did you do last year? How did that impact you? What are some things that you could have learned from that? What are some course corrections that you could have done? And did you hit your numbers? Did you not hit your numbers? Why didn't you hit your numbers? And really digging deep onto that side and then taking that information and applying it towards 2024. And so I feel that by having a roadmap or a compass, you're going to be able to get from point A to point B faster because we actually took the time to build out that roadmap. And I feel like the feedback's been great because there's a lot of, you know, the business plan makes you dig deep into what happened last year and what you want to accomplish this year. And sometimes as loan officers, we don't really think about that. We just say, hey, I want to make $200,000. Well, how are you going to do that? Where's that business going to come from? Who are your referral partners going to be? How many referral partners do you need? How many units do you have to do? And by digging in deep into that, it makes you start to think about more and more about your business and where your gaps are that you need to fill in order to achieve what you want in 2024. I mean, Troy, go ahead. I know you want to say something.
No, I'm just thinking about the way, like a lot of folks don't see the value in putting together some type of a business plan. It's interesting. It's sort of like wake up on a Saturday morning and you're leaving that afternoon and you have a flight at 3:00 and you've got X number of things to do before you have to be at the airport. It's amazing how people will manage to get 50 things done in that morning before they have to be at the airport than they get done the entire rest of the week, right? And that's an example of the ease with which simply planning a little bit more and having a target. I have to be at the airport by this time and I have to get all of these things done, and you manage to do it. It's a perfect example of a business plan. Having a target and structuring the things that you want to do to get there and accomplishing it. Or, you know, the opposite of that is you wake up on a Saturday morning and you feel like you have all these things that you have to get done and you feel so completely overwhelmed and like you have a boulder sitting on top of you and you think, oh, I'm overwhelmed and you feel aggravated and agitated. And it's kind of funny because you sit down with a piece of paper, map them all out, figure out the best route. Okay, first I'm going to go here, then I'm going to go there, then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go. And instead of it actually taking all day and stressing you out, you have everything done by noon, simply because you sat down and mapped it out and put it together in a way that made it so it was doable in a specific amount of time. Your business is the same way. You have to sit down and map it out. A lot of people put more thought into a Facebook post about what they had for dinner than they do what they're going to do to focus on their business today. and then wonder why they're having difficulties.
Well, and I think the key word there is focus, right? And so you sit down and do and you want to make $200,000 a year. That's what Craig said. And it's like, well, how are you going to do that? And too many loan officers are just like, I don't know. I just need to do what my manager said, which was go get more business, this week. And that's it.
And it's
And
arbitrary. It's completely just this big boulder of something with no structure to it that sits on top of you.
Exactly. So when the business plan allows you to really narrow down and focus on little things. And I love we're talking about this because in my business plan, one of the things that we really talked about and focused on was reaching out to specific real estate teams that were closing or had a certain number of agents that were closing a certain amount of business. And then I actually I researched what teams I wanted to go after. Okay. And that was part of my business plan, was really focused in on that. And as we're sitting here talking about this right now, I just got a text message from said real estate team that I landed, and I just got a referral for an application from somebody from that specific team because of the time I sat down to focus on doing the research and zeroed in on exactly who I wanted to target. Whereas maybe in the past, or what most loan officers would do, is they're just like free balling it. Right. And we all know, yeah, free balling, it's nice for for a little bit, but is it really good for you for the long term? No, it's not. Right.
Well, when you go to bed and you realize that you're chafed.
I knew somebody was going to go there.
So I think that coming back to it is like, it allows you to focus. Like, I coach a lot of football. Right? Football's the same thing. You put together a game plan. You're scripting out the first 20 plays of the game and exactly what you want to do and how you want to attack. And you're watching film of the other team, and you know what kind of looks they're going to get in. They know if you get into a bunch formation, they're probably going to throw you this type of look. Or if you're in 21 personnel, they're going to have a 4-man front or whatever. And you're going to have all these different ways to kind of counteract whatever they're doing. So like a game like football that takes that much time and preparation and game planning, what about your business that feeds your family? Right?
And it's funny because people will look at something like that, and even just watching football, they're analyzing the strategy that's being used, and they're hopping on Facebook. It's hysterical. I see people going, they should have done this, and why they do that, and they should fire this, and they should get rid of this person and do this, all that kind of stuff. And then the next day they get up to start their day with whatever it is that you do, fitness, mortgages, whatever it is, and just complete zero approach of any strategy whatsoever. Yep. And expect to win.
Well, I think that's the culture. And again, coming back to, it's the people you surround yourself with. And so, like, obviously if somebody's watching this, hey, maybe think about where you're at. There's a lot of companies out there that are really struggling, and that's the mindset that they have, is that, just go get more business today, guys. We need it to keep the doors open. Whereas I think that we have a really strong culture. We have a competitive culture. We have a positive culture that really focuses on trying to get the loan officer out there that wants to grow their business. And look, there's probably a lot of people that aren't a good fit for what we're doing, but I know that there are a lot of people out there that would really benefit from what we do here.
Yeah, and I would add to that list of words, Phil, I'd add the word intensity. I'd say culturally, we're a pretty intense place. Is that fair? And I think that I say that in the most positive way, because intensity can either push people away or it pushes them to try harder or to work smarter. And I think the people that are repelled by a certain level of intensity just might not be the best fit here.
The intent, but it depends on where the intensity is coming from. Right.
True.
The intensity here is out of love
and care,
and energy and passion and want to see you succeed. Like, I know that the intensity I get from you guys is because you guys want to see me win. Right. No different than anybody on my team. The intensity that I would have for their business is because I want to see them win. right?
Yes.
That's the difference than a company
great.
where they're in the red and the intensity coming from your regional managers because they're getting
Gotta
blown
panic.
up by their shareholders and their executives, and they're basically trying to squeeze every little thing out of you they can to make it to next quarter. And that's the difference. Where does the intensity come from?
Yeah, that's a
Intent.
great distinction. Yep.
Two words that usually go together. Whenever you enter into conversation about the law of attraction or any type of focus where you're expecting a response out of the environment that you're in, you have to have a conversation about intent and intensity.
Mm-hmm.
What is the intent and what is the intensity that you put behind it? And that's, if your car is stuck in the snow and it has sunk to the point where the tire is all the way buried deep in the snow, you realize if your intent is to get that car out of the snow and get it moving, the intensity of the push behind it has to be suitable for the task. And so if you're in an environment where you are trying to be successful, where you're trying to build a business, where you're trying to create something for yourself, a sustainable, responsive business for yourself that continues to self-create, you have to make sure you're putting in intent and intensity that is in alignment with the response that you want. It's just, think of the gym. Like, if you want to get in really good shape, you can't go once a week and sit on the bike and pedal really slow and flip the pages of a magazine. It's not going to work. So intent and intensity is a huge part of creating result.
And the beauty of it is, if you want to test drive the Molitor vehicle, you can go to loactionplan.com, join a couple of them, get to know us, get to know the group, get to know the positive feedback that everybody contributes to help each other grow.
Yeah. And the best case scenario is you get to learn a little bit about us. The worst case scenario is you get some great free coaching, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a
Worst
it's
case
a no,
scenario
no
is
lose.
you have to deal with Brian calling you brother on the
And saying brilliant.
We're
and
gonna
nuggets.
use
That's
all
the
the
worst,
trigger,
absolute worst thing that could happen to you. So
all the trigger words. We're gonna bring out all the trigger words this morning.
That's what's going to happen to me. I'm going to have to start taking Xanax at work because I'm going to have trigger words like nugget.
I already have trigger words. It's brilliant.
Brilliant
You know,
nuggets.
brilliant.
Not to
nuggets.
change the subject, but I'm going to change the subject. Phil and I, before you two jumped on, we were talking about how the fact that I'm going to have to shave my head and grow a beard to really fit in around here.
I told him it's not by choice that my hair looks like this. So if I could grow a thick, full head of hair like Brian's got, I'd have it right now. It'd be flowing.
All right. So, Phil, you're doing a lot of great things social media wise. Just to kind of move on to the next topic. And I know we've touched on it on these calls. You've shared some great things, but advice for somebody that knows they need to up their digital game this year and just aren't quite doing it, where would you suggest they start? And you have a great podcast, by the way, that addresses this topic brilliantly. So
Level Up Your Content podcast. I have a lot of great guests on there that talk about all these specific things. You know, it really depends on where they are at, you know, and obviously, again, I'm going to pitch the company again. You know, that's one of the great things we have here is we have a lot of support when it comes to content. We have a lot of support when it comes to being in social media marketing, and that's something that I am really passionate about. So anybody who comes to this company will get a lot of great social media content nuggets to take home with them. But
it's because we got Phil.
That's right. It really depends on where they're at, and everybody has a different, you know, personality. They have different character. They have different platforms that they're comfortable with. They have just different personalities. So it's tough to say where they should start. But I will say one thing: if you're just not posting anything and you don't have any presence on social media, you're already 3 to 5 years behind the boat. Okay. And the reason that is that our business is changing, and the whole entire economy is changing. And the one idea I would leave with someone today is the idea of social proof. And I have a lot of LOs and real estate agents that I talk to, and they say, hey, I work off a referral business. I don't need to do the social media stuff, and people just refer me. And my response to them is that I guarantee you are not capturing the amount of referral business that you think you are. I guarantee you that people are being referred to you and you never ever talk to them or hear from them because they're going online to social proof you and you don't have any content there for them. And the idea of social proof is that, like, back in the day, 60s, 70s, 80s, before the internet, people would go on to the white pages or the yellow pages, the phone book, and they would look you up, right? If they got referred a plumber, they would go to the yellow pages and say, okay, that person's in the phone book. They're kind of, they have to be legit or something like that. Or maybe they'd see a billboard or you on a bus stop or something like that. And then, the internet came along, and the main place that people would probably go look you up would be on Google. They would Google your name. They would see if you had a website. If you had a website back in the day, that meant that you were probably somebody. But that's not what people do anymore. What people do is they will immediately go to, in the top two are Facebook or Instagram, to look you up. Think about it. If you've been referred to like an awesome restaurant, like somebody's like, hey, go check out this restaurant, it's brand new. What's the first place you probably go? Facebook or Instagram. You want to look up the restaurant. You want to see how long has it been around. You want to see some pictures or some videos of the inside. You want to see what it looks like.
Some
Maybe
reviews.
you want to look at the menu, look at the reviews, different things like that. You're social proofing that restaurant. You're not just going to pick up the phone and call the restaurant and ask them for their menu. You're not going to, probably not even maybe going to go on Google, although you might hit Google Maps and check it out and see where it's at and see if there's any Google reviews. But that's like the biggest thing. And I would tell somebody who's especially somebody that's producing, that is, maybe anti-social media, or like you said, Brian, they know they need to get started. I would really get started on Facebook or Instagram, one of those two. I would focus on trying to post every single day. I think video is the future. I think it already is what's important right now. But if you're not comfortable getting on video yet, there's a lot of good that can be done. Posting a lifestyle picture, posting a picture of you or your business. And then every time you write a post, just provide some value to folks about your business. Maybe talk about wins that you've had, problems you've solved for your customers, or even just answering simple questions that people would have. So I call them ASQs, answer simple questions. Think about the 50 top questions you get asked by a customer on a daily basis, and then just write up posts answering those questions, with a little bit of content, and that's really going to get the ball rolling for you. But I really think video, that's the key. And there's so many benefits to video that would take me probably another 60 minutes to walk you guys through. But at a service level, that's what I would recommend.
The interesting thing that a lot of folks don't realize about social media is that they don't just, folks won't just look you up. They will actually scroll through your history. They'll keep scrolling, and it's sort of an online reputation is what they're looking at. I can go on the internet today and put together a website that says anything. I can make up anything I want today, and I can talk about the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot and post pictures and everything like that, and it gives it no credibility or no timeline of reputation whatsoever. But social media is something that when people look at, they can look at things in your history from a year ago, 2 years ago, different pictures, different things that you've posted about clients or your business and things like that. And it's an online version or display of your reputation.
Yeah, and another word for reputation, and it's kind of a buzzword right now, is personal brand. And that's exactly what it is. And personal brand has never been more important in our industry than it is right now. 10 years ago, it was like you had to have a big time name, and even real estate agents are feeling this. You had to have a big time name behind you. And that's what sold, whatever you're offering. That's what gave you credibility. And it's not that way anymore. And personal brand is so important in what your name says about what you do, the credibility you have, and your social media is the biggest opportunity to grow your personal brand. And again, I'll bring it back to another pitch for MFG. And that's what I really think our platform is so great, is that we are excited and enthusiastic about helping loan officers grow their personal brand in their market. And that's a big deal, because there's a lot of companies out there that they don't want that. They want the big name corporate brand. That's what they want to grow. That's where they spend their money, their resources, their time, and their effort is on the company brand. Whereas we're really focused on helping you grow your personal brand, because that's what's going to help you grow.
Right. 100%.
Yep.
So that could be our tagline, Craig. We were talking about the tagline for our presentation. What if it's grow your personal brand and grow your production? Something like that on slide 1. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, I mean, the times have changed. Like people don't even pay attention to anymore. People don't even go to, if you go to a big box store, you still pay attention to the salesperson that you're working with, not to what store you're in. You pay attention to the style that person might be dressing or the advice that they're giving, and you attach to that salesperson, and you go back to that store, and you may not even know what store it is off the top of your head. And that's because the personal realm or the personal attachment to individualized advice has reached a point, because of social media and the ability to brand yourself, that people don't even pay attention to the names of companies or things like that anymore.
It's the growth of the influencer economy. So
Right.
We have transitioned into where influence and influencers have more impact on the things that we buy and purchase. And that is translated into every avenue of business, and even in mortgages. And so the mortgage lender that has the most influence in their community, so the person that has the loudest microphone, can command the most attention with customers and real estate agents, those are the ones that are winning. And I'm not saying that's the only way to win. I had a really great conversation with Trevor York that was just on the Level Up Your Content podcast. Definitely think you guys should listen to it. And we talked about, will the $100 million producer who's not on social media still be here in 5 years? And we had a really interesting discussion about, are the plays that they're running still working? And we think, yes, they're still going to work, but there is going to be an evolution to where whether they like it or not, they are going to have to be on social media to continue to grow that brand as we continue to transition down the road here. It's just the way of the world.
Well, because a lot too, what a lot of folks don't think about is the fact that incoming generations, that next round of youngsters that are coming in behind you, they are used to that space. They are coming in already fully equipped and communicating and participating in that space just in a personal capacity. So their ability to come in underneath you and then add their existing network and their existing awareness of it to a business personal brand is just that much stronger. So it creates more of an environment or an opportunity for you to get pushed out if you're not careful.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost on an hour here. I don't know if you have any other final thoughts, or if you guys want to wrap it up or move on to another topic. What do you guys think?
I think we encourage people to go to loactionplan.com and join the group, join the community, and let's grow together.
I love it.
All right.
Love it. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
loactionplan.com. See you there.
Full of nuggets.
All right. It's brilliant nuggets. Brilliant nuggets.
BN.
All right. See you.